books, and as a fan, you are obligated.
Yeah, that's what the main reason why I went to see
that. And I think
just
that is to draw Roundhouse back.
You already saw the other four. You might as well finish.
I'm a Star Wars fan. It was automatic that I had to go see those movies.
See, I think what George Lucas did was he made the original trilogy great. Then he made Episode 1, and he made it pretty well. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of good content, but Anakin's a little kid, so now he has 2 movies left.
Yeah,
he kind of has to make.
What do I do?
A little bit.
Yeah,
and he just didn't put enough into Episode 2, so he had to put it all into Episode 2.
I mean, I think that's the whole sole purpose why George Lucas created the next trilogy, because he felt an obligation to explain some stuff. Nothing else, not to provide, this great, ooh, look what's happening on the other side of the galaxy. No, it was just to fill in spaces, and otherwise stare at it and go, what?
I had no way to
But it still left the original trilogy still left the series open because Luke wasn't really the one to save everyone.
Well, did you see Clone Wars though? I didn't see
the cartoon one.
Yeah,
no.
I wanted to,
but that has to do with the.
But that melded.
I'm talking about the original trilogy because
Attack of
apparently
the Clones.
there's a thing going around that Luke isn't actually the true chosen one that they're looking for. That maybe somebody else is. Some people say it's Princess Leia. I don't know if that's
Luke
really
and Leia are
right.
supposed to both be the chosen one.
Yeah, it's not really.
It's the bloodline. Really,
yeah, it's
of Anakin.
Yeah, you see.
But they could probably be alluding to maybe like children of Luke or Leia.
I don't think.
I
don't think he's gonna do any. I think he left it open just for the imagination of us.
Although, the thing is, it's his dream, so he kind of makes it the way he wants it. If you want to write a Star Wars book, it has to go through him. You can't publish a Star Wars book without it being.
Of course, it's George Lucas. I mean, you gotta give him his respect. He did make a great series.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's his brainchild. He should be able to say what goes into it
exactly.
and what doesn't.
It's just, I feel that maybe... I think you're right, Kellen, when you say that it was just to fill those gaps. Because there was tons of gaps that needed to be filled, and people have been clamoring for...
And that's why
the transition of Anakin into Darth Vader. I mean, that whole...
Yeah,
that's why we got other story stuff. We got the books. We got Force Unleashed.
Yeah,
we got even the Battlefront games offer some kind of explanation as to what the hell is going on.
They're mainly stormtroopers,
but that's really cool.
Figure out what's going.
Explain what happened to all the Jedi.
You figure out what's going on Felucia. You figure out what's going on Megiddo. Every little weird planet you've never heard of, but you've never heard of, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just drags you further into this immense galaxy in the mind of this one filmmaker.
One character I wish they alluded on more in the movie was
Chewbacca?
No, the
Jar Jar Binks.
No, worst character idea ever. Okay,
Jar Jar Binks is sexy. You know you want to sleep with him.
No Jar Jar Binks. No, I'm talking about in episode 2, the robotic evil.
General Grievous.
Yes, they only allude to him in the books and explain his past. But he's actually good at one point. But
really,
yes,
Have you read the books?
No, my friend read the books and he was telling me about this.
And he's a badass character too.
Grievous was originally good, but I believe he got wrecked so much that he had then ended up basically being mostly robotic. He's barely even human.
Was he human at one point?
What?
Was he?
He was some kind of alien.
Yeah, because you gotta remember in episode 3 he gets ripped open and you can see all his
heart.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought
there's only
really
really left is I'm pretty sure the heart. And
I didn't know if he was originally built as a droid guy.
But he was the commander of the droid army.
Yeah.
He basically became more machine than ever, and he ended up turning to the dark side. I wish they would out in the open talk about him. Obviously, they're not going to. They did in the books.
But where are they going to?
They're not going to. Obviously,
which
maybe
is
they'll do
why
that
we
Clone
have
Wars
the books
show.
to fill the gaps.
Exactly, but he's such a cool character, and they put him in the movie. He barely got any screen time in the first place. He kind of just died.
And when he did, he'd get his butt kicked.
He was like a super. Yeah, he was super. He was supposed to be like this super badass character. And he didn't.
Cancer.
Like, did any of you guys watch there was a Clone Wars miniseries before that? It was from the same artist and I think creator Samurai Jack.
Yeah,
I remember.
They made Grievous in that so jacked, like literally he just ripped things apart. It was just amazing.
You know what the original
cool character,
the new trilogy
and they completely write him off.
They needed some kind of Han Solo type character. Han Solo.
Yeah, they needed
the good guy that still wasn't.
He's kind of like the rogue
guy.
There was no happy-go-lucky.
Well, the anti-hero.
There was no really any Luke of the newer series anyway.
The thing is, like, why they couldn't really put a Han Solo into. Like,
it felt too much like a carbon copy. They tried to do that too much.
Carbon Knight copy.
Jason, I was like,
Had to make the reference.
But
the thing is, it's kind
Superman
of
sucks.
the new trilogy is kind of like a Knight's Tale. Like, I don't mean like the movie A Knight's Tale. I mean like,
That's a good movie.
like I mean they're kind of like knights. It's like set in a sci-fi setting, where the original trilogy is kind of like a, I don't know what you, almost like a western.
No,
not a western.
Your classic,
kind of.
Like a coming of age.
your classic 80s. What was it, 80s that it came out? We weren't born
late
in the
70s.
Late 70s.
Late 70s.
Yeah.
Early 80s. Yeah.
It was basically one of those classic action adventure movies. You know?
Answer me
No,
this.
Jason's right though. It is kind of like a western, just put in space. I mean, there's the guy who's not really on either side. He's just doing what he does.
But it has some of the.
And then there's the good guy who
It's
so guy kind of joins. And then there's the bad.
It's not like a
fellow.
solid comedy either, though.
That's
That's another thing that I don't think. Before you go, Callan,
Okay.
I'll let you go next. But
Yeah.
one thing the newer trilogy didn't have.
Yeah, the humor.
Comedy. No humor whatsoever. Completely bone dry.
There's a
there was a
little
little
bit.
bit in the old one.
And in the
but
first one, there's a
good amount.
little bit, but not really. I mean,
Yeah, like the old trilogy. They had Jar Jar Binks in episode 1. Wow.
That was trying too hard.
George Lucas.
That was just trying
Biggest
too
mistake.
hard to get to kids. I don't blame him for trying to
tell you what though, everybody
more.
knows that character.
Yeah,
He's no.
George Lucas.
Because he's the
But
most
you know what?
thrilling
No.
character in all of
But-
Star Wars history.
I'll give you this, George Lucas, this credit. You made a character we love to hate, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
It unifies us.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, now, George, if you're watching,
No,
and
he's not.
anyone else, okay,
Lucas
explain to me
will
this.
Right.
Okay, the technology in the